Hi, good morning. I'm Cedrik Tandong. I'm the CEO of Three Wheels United and the co-founder as well. Well, the video you're watching is an event Three Wheels organized in India to sign up drivers to convert their current vehicles to electric ones. A lot of these drivers either rent the vehicles they have today, or they own an old internal combustion vehicle. This video was taken in 2019. Back then, we're just doing three-wheelers. Today, we're doing three-wheelers, we're doing two-wheelers, we're doing scooters, and we're looking to do lightweight four-wheelers as well. With the drivers we work with, mostly are using this as a means of livelihood. This becomes their primary earning potential. Three Wheels, we believe that while we want to transition these drivers to electric, the core of what we do is really taking care of these drivers. So we call ourselves a driver company. We believe, again, to really do this transition, it's important to take care of these drivers. Reason is, these drivers care really little much about all of the big narrative, but for taking care of their family, creating a better life for themselves, and having a decent job. Why this is important, as transport continues to increasingly, I'd say, explode exponentially, EVs are expected to be leading this penetration. Most of these drivers depend on financing to own and operate these vehicles. Three Wheels United is fitting into this space, providing affordable loans to these drivers, flexible renting, and rent-to-own options for drivers who don't yet believe in the EV story. Beyond this, there's also the fact that these vehicles are still very early stage on roads. They have charging issues. They have unpredictable earning, the difficulties in actually operating the vehicles, the inexistence of a secondary market in case the driver wants to resell a vehicle, and of course financing. The platform we've built solves for these problems. We connect them to aggregators who guarantee them an income. We connect them to infrastructure players who provide them charging, and we tell them when and how to charge. We connect them to the manufacturers who guarantee the uptime of these vehicles, making sure that the vehicles are either running, and when they're not, the driver gets a rebate in case the vehicles are not repaired on time. And we do the financing part of it, operating the vehicles in a way that is seamless and very efficient for the driver. The overall outcome is that we're increasing the revenues for these drivers by 75%. This is what is important for the driver to take these vehicles. I believe the true power of what we have built is really in the data sets. We get data from the vehicles, we get data from our mobile applications through feedback loops, we get data from the platforms where the drivers work in, and we use this data to distinguish between which vehicles are performing the best. We use it to identify what type of profiles of drivers to finance. We choose what are the right markets to grow in. And the overall outcome is that we have one of the best performing portfolios in the market. We have a default rate of less than 1% in a market that typically sees over 30% of default. We've done this for 5,000 drivers and now have a pipeline of 70,000 drivers to scale this up in a couple of years, with the right aggregator partners, with the right manufacturers, and long-term financing partners. We are the best in doing this, especially in the markets where we exist, not just because we have these tailored loan products. We have the best-in-class interest rates, and we use our data platform to make sure that the vehicles have the highest uptime and also the drivers are guaranteed income. The model is profitable. The largest part of our revenues come from the interest rates, but we're also getting a commission for each vehicle and the long stream of other avenues where we're making money. As you can see, the growth and the profitability. It's such of a J-curve, and we've raised significant money in the past. We just closed a 10 million round and deploying that currently and doing much more. And I've been endorsed globally by other institutions. What I'm here today for me is to engage with people, engage with the community here, and understand better how we can help these drivers in the markets we operate to move towards a clean mobility. Thank you.
Fantastic. Hands together for Cedrik. All right, we have 2.5 minutes. Questions?
How have you gotten banks and other lenders comfortable with financing these vehicles, given that there isn't really a secondary market yet?
Yeah, very good question. When we started, no banks wanted to finance it. I think there is a lot of historical data to show that a lot of these drivers default, and that shies away the banks from financing. I think the proof is in the pudding. We've, over a period of time, demonstrated that with the right tools, with the right mechanisms in helping the drivers, both in guaranteeing their revenues and increasing the uptimes of the vehicle, we're able to show that there is a lesser default from these drivers. In the reality of the system that we've built is that we collect on a daily basis, right? These are drivers who have, I'd say, very fragile financial health. So if you're able to collect money when they're making it and also not collect when they're not making it, it helps the relationship between you and the clients, right? So your client doesn't see you as a business trying to take away from them, but more like a partner. So because of that type of relationship that we've built, we're able to get the drivers to pay on time and eventually show that data to the bank, and the banks are assisting us in the financing.
Thank you. Clearly, you're making an impact. You've raised these funds. You're developing your ecosystem with the financial institutions as well. Yeah. How can we help? What do you need? Why are you here? What keeps you up at night?
Very good point. I don't think. I think there are a couple of things. One, while it all looks good on paper, and the drivers who are already driving it are experiencing it, I don't think the narrative is a household narrative yet. Right? I think that's important. Secondly, the debt market, for example, in India is still quite expensive. So a lot of what we're doing is getting loans from development financial institutions, plugging that with VC capital that we get to make sure that we can lend to these drivers at affordable rates. Right? So a lot of it is, of course, we're still raising significant amounts of equity, but also raising debt from DFIs and other such institutions to continuously lower the interest rates and make it more attractive for drivers to take up these vehicles.